Good afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure to see that we will be focusing on sports this afternoon, especially because it looks as though every single country in the world over the last 10 or 15 years has been focusing on improving one's performance and one's well-being by taking up a number of different disciplines. This has been obvious in places such as the UK after the London 2012 Olympics. We were so happy and chuffed about the success of our country that everyone took up things such as gymnastics or swimming or track. And that has spurred me as well to try and find a new type of sport that I could pick up as well in Lisbon. Now, Lisbon isn't famous for any specific types of sport, so it was quite an arduous task. But then I was lucky enough to stumble upon a very peculiar and very specific type of sport only last year after a conference that I attended. And I'm speaking of Gaelic football. Now, I'm not a huge football fan, and that is a bit of a problem. When you are born in Italy, a huge football-loving country, and your dad is from Liverpool and a huge Liverpool supporter, and then you move to Portugal, another great country which adores football to a point of fanaticism, and you don't like it, well, you've got a huge problem. Luckily enough, however, I have found something very similar. And when you think of Ireland, you normally don't even think about Gaelic football. You would think of rugby, for example. Gaelic football isn't talked about that much outside of Ireland, but if you speak to any Irish person, they will know exactly what it is. So Gaelic football is ruled over by the GAA, which is the acronym for the Gaelic Athletic Association. And believe it or not, it is Ireland's largest sporting organisation. So not for rugby, but Gaelic sport in general. It is known as one of the largest associations in the country, as well as being the greatest amateur sporting association. It means that everyone participating in the game, from the coaches, from the players, to the referees, to the linesmen, they are not paid for what they do on the pitch. And so it makes things a bit more exciting. It is part of the Irish consciousness, and it doesn't only promote athleticism and sport, but also Irish music, culture, dance, and the Irish language. Because of that, it is a part of many Irish communities all over the culture, and it provides youngsters a good opportunity to hang out and get off the streets and do something productive with all of that pent-up energy. It isn't as old as you would think. It was only founded on the 1st of November 1884 because the founders decided to try and reintroduce the sport among all of the population. Back in the past, it was only played by the aristocracy and the gentry. As I said, the association promotes the Irish culture and spirit, and it also promotes the typical, original and traditional Irish games, such as Gaelic football and hurling. As I've already said, it is a huge part of the Irish way of life, and every summer we have inter-county championships taking place across the 32 counties of Ireland, which attract a huge number of people from all over the world. However, the two biggest championships are the ones that take place in Croke Park in Dublin, which attract a crowd of 82,300 people, which is quite mind-blowing. And I do say that they attract a crowd of people from all over the world because, as you all know, wherever you go, regardless if it's in the States, in Australia, in Paris, or even in England, you will find a large community of the Irish. And what they do to keep up the Irish spirit is take part in these activities even abroad. Despite the fact that the association isn't as old as one would think, the game itself is as old as time. In fact, they say that one of the main games, hurling, is older than Christianity itself, which is a big thing considering that when we speak of Ireland and the Irish, we speak mostly of great believers. So when it comes to hurling, which is one of the main games that is played all over Ireland, you may wonder what it's all about. The concept is quite simple, or so it would seem. What you do is that the players have to use a wooden stick, which is made of ash, and this stick is called hurley. They have to use this stick to hit a small ball called, and I do apologise for the mangled pronunciation because it's one of those Irish words which is written in one way and then has a completely different sound. The ball is called a slitter, and you have to hit it between the opponent's goal posts, either over the crossbar or in the actual goal. Where is this game played? It is played on a hurling pitch, and it is quite similar in some respects to your regular rugby pitch, but a bit larger. So the grass pitch is rectangular, and it stretches between 130 and 140 meters, and is between 80 and 90 meters wide. As I've already mentioned, the game does use goalposts, and these are H-shaped goalposts, and they are formed by two posts, which are usually around 7 meters high and set 7 meters apart. And they are connected above the ground by a crossbar. So you have a regular goal, as would have, let's say, during a football match, and then you have the continuation of the posts. And the players have to hit the ball either in the goal or above the crossbar. This same pitch is also used for Gaelic football to make matters a bit easier for the association. Each team has 15 players, so you have a goalkeeper, you have 3 full-backs, 3 half-backs, 2 midfielders, 3 half-forwards, and 3 full-forwards. And once again, these players, their main objective is that of scoring a point, either 1 point by hitting the ball over the crossbar or into the net for 3 points. So it seems pretty easy. All you have to do is run around and try to hit a ball in one of these two areas. However, if you have ever seen a match, you will know it's a lot more complicated than that, because when people have a stick in their hand, they tend to get violent, and that seems to happen during these games as well. Nearly everything is allowed during this match. People can hit the ball out of the air, people can tackle the other player, but there are some specific rules. For example, people can tackle other players only if someone else is in possession of the ball or if they are moving towards the ball. So you can see how the ground and the rules aren't clearly defined. Someone could say that they're running to someone just because they thought that other person was running towards the ball. As you can imagine, it's an incredibly violent sport where injuries aren't uncommon. Most of these matches last 70 minutes and are always a good excuse to have it out on the field. As I said, people run around with this stick, and what they can do is they can keep on bouncing the ball on the stick, trying to reach the goal, and they can't pick the ball off the ground if it falls to the ground with their hand. What they have to do is they have to either hit it directly with their stick or with an open palm into the goal. As I said, it's an incredibly violent sport at times, if not done well, and one of the main injuries is to the throat, which is why since 2010 the GAA has ruled that everyone should wear a face mask to try and sort of overcome some of these issues. Gaelic football is similar in nature, but of course you do not have the stick, so all you would do is you would either kick or hit the ball with your hand into the net, but the rules are basically the same. As I said, it's a very interesting type of sport and something which you do not see as much in other countries. So it could be a good solution if you're looking to do something a bit more active and if you're into physical contact and want to pick up something new. Thank you.